Imagine waking up to discover your most trusted advisor, the person who knows your every move, your security protocols, your deepest secrets, had accepted $41 million to have you killed. This nightmare became reality for Africa's youngest president when his own chief of staff allegedly conspired with terrorists to assassinate him. In the shadows of power, loyalty is often just an illusion. Have you ever wondered who around you might betray you for the right price? What would it take to turn an ally into an assassin? In a world where even presidents sleep with one eye open, trust becomes the most valuable and dangerous currency. If you're fascinated by power struggles, international intrigue, and the thin line between loyalty and betrayal, hit that subscribe button now to join our growing community of geopolitical truth seekers. Today, we expose a shocking terrorist coup plot that nearly toppled Burkina Faso's government and the last-minute intelligence breakthrough that saved President Ibrahim Traore's life by mere hours. At just 36 years old, Captain Ibrahim Traore stands as Africa's youngest head of state, a military officer whose meteoric rise shocked the continent in September 2022, 8 months after Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba seized control through a military takeover. Traore led his own counter-coup, citing the previous leadership's inability to combat the growing jihadist threat that had claimed thousands of lives across the nation. This bold stance resonated powerfully with Burkina Faso's youth, who flooded social media with support for their young leader. In street demonstrations, thousands chanted his name, viewing him as a symbol of African sovereignty and self-determination. For a generation disillusioned with Western promises and ongoing insecurity, Traore represented something rare in African politics: hope for genuine change. On April 22, 2025, Security Minister Mahamadou Sanaa appeared on state television with an announcement that stunned the nation. Intelligence services had neutralized what we called a major plot against Captain Traore's government. The plan, meticulously crafted over months, targeted April 16 for execution, a date now marked as what could have been Burkina Faso's darkest day. According to government sources, the operation would have culminated in a direct assault on the presidential palace, while Traore was inside. But what makes this conspiracy particularly alarming wasn't just its timing. It was the alleged betrayal at its core. Who masterminded this elaborate scheme? Reports point to Traore's own chief of staff, though the government has not officially named this individual, who allegedly confessed to accepting an astonishing 25 billion CFA francs, approximately $41 million, to facilitate the president's assassination. The funds reportedly came through neighboring Ivory Coast, with alleged connections to foreign interests seeking to destabilize Burkina Faso's new political direction. Think about this. What would make someone betray their country at the highest level? How does a trusted advisor transform into an architect of chaos? And perhaps most chilling, if this plot was discovered, how many others remain hidden? Burkina Faso's political landscape transformed dramatically under Traore's leadership, becoming a crucial piece on the global chessboard of influence. Within months of taking power, Traore expelled French military forces, ending a security relationship that had defined the country's foreign policy for decades. In their place came Russian military advisors, marking a seismic shift in regional alliances. This pivot didn't happen in isolation. In January 2025, Burkina Faso joined Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States, AS, withdrawing from the Western-aligned economic community of West African states. This new bloc represents a direct challenge to traditional power structures in the region. The alleged coup plot raises serious questions about foreign interference. Government officials specifically pointed to Ivory Coast, a staunch French ally, as hosting the mastermind behind the conspiracy, suggesting a coordinated effort to remove Traore and reverse Burkina Faso's new geopolitical orientation. What do you think about foreign powers interfering in African politics? Is Russia's growing influence positive or concerning? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and will respond to the most insightful perspectives. This latest conspiracy joins a troubling pattern in Burkina Faso's recent history. Since Traore seized power, government sources claim to have thwarted an astonishing 18 coup attempts and over 30 assassination plots, raising eyebrows among international observers. Some analysts question whether all these alleged plots were genuine threats or convenient justifications for tightening control. Each announcement typically precedes arrests of opposition figures, journalists, and military officers suspected of disloyalty. Burkina Faso's political landscape has been shaped by military takeovers since independence. The country has experienced 8 successful coups since 1960, with the most recent occurring in quick succession. This cycle of instability raises a crucial question. Can a government born from military force ever truly establish lasting stability? The foiled coup attempt against Traore represents more than just an internal power struggle. It signals deepening fault lines across West Africa that could reshape the continent's future. The Sahel region has become ground zero for a new kind of competition between global powers. As Russia expands its footprint through military partnerships, Western nations watch with growing concern. This rivalry transforms local conflicts into proxy battles with global implications. For Traore, surviving this plot brings both opportunity and peril. While he can leverage the incident to strengthen his position and eliminate rivals, he must also deliver on promises to improve security and economic conditions, challenges that have toppled previous leaders. The coming months will test whether his government can translate popular support into tangible progress against terrorism and poverty. If he fails, the cycle of instability may continue. This raises profound questions about Africa's political future. Can sovereignty exist when external powers vie for influence? Is democracy possible in the face of security threats? And perhaps most importantly, who truly benefits when African nations become battlegrounds for global rivalries? As Burkina Faso recovers from this narrowly averted crisis, the story of Ibrahim Traore reminds us how quickly fortunes can change in the dangerous game of power. From military officer to president, from trusted advisor to alleged traitor, the boundaries between ally and enemy blur in the shadows of high-stakes politics. The true victims in this geopolitical chess match remain ordinary citizens caught between terrorism, poverty, and political instability. Their quest for security and dignity continues regardless of who holds power. If this exploration of power, betrayal, and global influence resonated with you, please hit that like button and share this video. Your support helps us continue bringing these critical stories to light. Subscribe now for our upcoming investigation into Russia's expanding military presence across Africa and what it means for global security. The new scramble for Africa is just beginning, and you won't want to miss what happens next.